Let's end off this with Great American Bash thoughts from Tuesday night. I thought this show was excellent.
Great show, really good show. I mean, I don't know if I would say like takeover level, honestly. Like by
I
takeover
would say the
standards, okay.
last 45 minutes of that show between the main event, I enjoyed this match between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly more than the Stand and Deliver show.
Mhm.
Stand and Deliver, tremendous like first half, tremendous end. A lot in the middle I could have done without. It was just a marathon match that this was like the more condensed version that I still totally got my value out of. Adam Cole goes over. We're kind of doing the 50-50 thing, but it was a tremendous match between these two. But the thing I'm going to remember on this show, the most memorable thing, was the segment with Hit Row that I thought, this is incredible.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Like star-making performance for this group. Like if this group takes off, this is going to be the segment that I think everyone will look at as the breakthrough moment for this group.
Yeah, I'm honestly like maybe surprised that it's gotten the reaction that it has. It seems like like you said, John. It seems to be the biggest talk coming out of this show, more so than any of the matches. And I from what I hear, it's not all positive. I know a lot of people might have not liked it, might have maybe wanted more of a physicality aspect attached to it, whether it be in the form of a run-in or something like that. I I really enjoyed it simply as a great display of, I think, authentic talent outside of the actual in-ring product. To me, having these four doing this sort of gimmick is one of the most authentic, I think, representations of hip hop culture that the WWE has ever had. We just went back and we go back and rewatch shows, and it's like, oh, man, Road Dogg and R Truth rapping, to the ring, or like it's, Men on the Mission and stuff like that. And maybe that stuff was like, cool to a certain audience at the time. But I just think that these guys are actually, in terms of pop culture, like excellent, like really cool and great representatives, I think, for professional wrestling.
I think it's such a great act that you can export to a non-fan. Like, I equate it way to when I will have something MMA related that I throw your way, that I feel I'm catering it to what is going to grab way. If it was the opposite and you were just completely done with pro wrestling, this would be a segment I would show to someone that watches wrestling never, doesn't even like it. And I think that this would be something that they would at least be intrigued by. Maybe it's not necessarily going to bring in a fan that's not really into wrestling, but to me, it's an act that is just so fresh. It's something you watch on WWE, and it just feels so cool beyond anything else that they are presenting. And I also really enjoy just watching the live aspect of this, that any one of these performers could have totally frozen up, and this would have been a disaster. Like, this was it was excellently performed. It is like so genuine in that this is not a group that is being having promos or raps dictated to them to just go out and recite clearly. Like, this is a level of performance that is very, very high level.
Yeah. It's not just wrestlers trying to, play the rap gimmick. Like, it feels like these guys, have had, and I think in the case of BFAB, and even Swerve, and maybe actually the rest of them too. I'm not even completely certain, but they all have as much of a passion for this other thing as they do for professional wrestling, seemingly, maybe even more. And that definitely comes across in the authenticity and the confidence in the performance. I would say, it's hard to say like how much Adonis, I know he produces the beats. He might actually DJ, so he's very much responsible for, I think, a whole lot in that group. But we didn't get as much of a sense of the performance from him last night. But for the other three, to me especially Top Dollar, to me especially BFAB, I thought they just charismatically came across as such strong personalities.
So we will look forward to them on Raw one day.
God, oh yeah. Viking Raiders need a new set of decathlon partners.
I guess the other big thing on the show was the battery herself, Tegan Knox, returned fully charged and led to the title change. Io Shirai and Zoe Stark winning the tag titles. I was a bit surprised that they did the tag title switch, but with Tegan Knox coming back, obviously they're going to go right to her and Candice LeRae.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised given all the reports of her having matches, a dark match at Raw, and I thought that she would be called up right away, but seemingly, at least not for the time being, she'll be working with Candice LeRae, at least for the near future.
So I thought it was a really good show. I thought this was one of NXT's best presentations in quite some time. I really enjoyed it, especially that last hour. It was very, very strong stuff from the company. And next week they are doing Karrion Kross and Johnny Gargano. And I don't know what they are going to do with that match. I would imagine there's going to be tons of speculation that Kross his days as champion will be limited. But this feud to me is so perplexing. It's
a sort of a double heel feud with one person slightly leaning a bit more babyface while still trying to be a heel. In the end, I think with NXT, as long as you can guarantee good matches, I think the audience can be forgiving of a lot. And I think Johnny Gargano in a big match situation will really deliver. The fact that they are, using the WWE lines with Karrion Kross last night, I really do feel like they are trying to lead the audience to think that he has a chance of losing because he is going to move up to the main roster. And therefore, I think that's only a swerve. I think he retains and maybe drops it to somebody else at the next actual takeover.
Yeah, it feels like a strange time and a strange opponent to drop it to. And I definitely noted him lining out those objectives to probably misdirect people.
I love it.
Next week as well.
It's great. It's great to take advantage of the rumors.
That's the level you've got to be thinking at with your audience these days. Also worth noting, and God, did they remind you that tonight's show was brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade.
Wow, that's a mouthful. So
it's a light big title sponsor, and my God, they just threw. Vic Joseph must have read this copy out 100 times on this show.
Well, I'd rather Vic Joseph say it than to have a wrestler say it in the midst of a promo, like the Chiking sandwich.
Wait a minute, Johnny. I've got a fourth objective. Pinning you 1, 2, 3 before I have my Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade because I'm going to enjoy it responsibly.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Well,
can I also add Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade? You could not put 4 words together that make me want to vomit more than those combinations. Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade.
I mean, is a seltzer not inherently light to begin with? Branding.
This is lighter.
Oh, okay. Got it.
They lost me at Bud.